Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Biology Lights. And in this session, we are going to talk about coordination. Name the two systems which help to coordinate the body's actions. The nervous system and endocrine system help to coordinate the body's actions. Name the two structures which make up the central nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the sense organs to the central nervous system are called dash fibers. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the sense organs to the central nervous system are called sensory fibers. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the central nervous system to the glands and muscles are called dash fibers. The nerve fibers which carry impulses from the central nervous system to the glands and muscles are called motor fibers. A neuron or nerve cell consists of a dash containing a nucleus surrounded by dash branching filaments called dash extend from the cell surface and make dash with other neurons. In dash and dash neurons, one of the filament is very long and is called dash. Fill in the missing words from the following words: sensory, nerve fiber, cell body, impulses, dendrons, dendrites, motor, contact, axon, synapse, cytoplasm. A neuron consists of a cell body containing a nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm, branching filaments called dendrites extend from cell surface and make synapses with other neurons. In sensory and motor neurons, one of the filament is very long and is called a nerve fiber. Which one of the following is the most likely speed of conduction of the nerve impulse? 10 meters per second, 50 meters per second, and 1000 meters per second. Of the three speeds suggested, 50 meters per second is the most likely speed of conduction of a nerve impulse. Which one of the following best explains how we can tell which part of the body a sensory nerve impulse comes from? A. Impulses from each part of the body are different. B. Each part of the body is connected to its own region of the brain. C. Sensation of touch, heat, light, etc. are carried by nerve fibers to the brain. D. We run from experience where the impulse comes from. B. Each part of the body is connected to its own region of the brain, is the best explanation of our ability to identify the source of nerve impulse. A transverse section through the spinal cord is examined under a high power of the microscope. Part of it looks like diagram A, and part looks like diagram B. Which is gray matter and which is white matter? Give reasons for your decision. Diagram A represents nerve fibers cut in cross-section and therefore come from white matter. Diagram B shows multipolar neurons, which constitute much of the gray matter. Give 3 examples of reflex actions. Change in size of the pupil of the eye in response to light intensity. Blinking in response to foreign particles on the cornea. Sneezing in response to irritation of the nasal passage. Knee jerk in response to a blow on the tendon of the leg extensor muscle. Rapid removal of a hand from a hot or sharp object. In a spinal reflex, a dash is stimulated to produce a nerve impulse, which travels in a dash fiber to the dash. Here, the nerve fiber makes a dash with a relay dash, which transmits impulse to a dash fiber, This fiber conducts the impulse to an dash organ such as muscle. Fill in the missing words from the following lists: effector, tendon, sensory, sense organ, motor, nerve, brain, spinal cord, active, synapse, neuron. In a spinal reflex, a sense organ is stimulated to produce a nerve impulse which travels in a sensory fiber to the spinal cord. Here, the fiber makes a synapse with a relay neuron, which transmits the impulse to a motor fiber. This fiber conducts the impulse to an effector organ, such as a muscle. In a reflex knee jerk, what is A, a receptor, B, the effector? In a reflex arc, A, the receptor is the stretch receptor in the leg extensor muscle. B, the effector is the leg extensor muscle itself. Match the following structures and functions of the brain. A, cerebellum. B, medulla. C, cerebral hemisphere. D, midbrain. Part 1, memory and reasoning. Part 2, balance and muscular coordination. Part 3, control of heartbeat and breathing. Part 4, eye movement. Part A, cerebrum. This one is for balance and muscular coordination. Medulla is for control of heartbeat and breathing. Cerebral hemisphere is for memory and reasoning. Midbrain is for eye movement. In the table, enter some general points of contrast between the nervous and endocrine system. The speed of conduction, route of conduction, area affected, and duration of response. Speed of conduction. In nervous system, it is faster. Endocrine system, it is slower. Route of conduction. Nervous system, it are nerves. In endocrine system, blood system. Area affected. In nervous system, very localized. Endocrine system, general. Duration of response. In nervous system, short-lived, in endocrine system, longer lasting. Which one of the following statements about adrenaline is correct? A. It increases heart rate and increases release of glucose from the liver. B. It increases heart rate and reduces release of glucose from the liver. C. It reduces heart rate and increases the release of glucose from the liver. D. It reduces heart rate and reduces release of glucose from the liver. The correct statement is part A. Adrenaline increases the heart rate and the rate at which glucose is released from the liver. Name the two hormones produced by the pancreas. The pancreas produces the hormones glucagon and insulin. In what circumstances are glucagon and insulin produced? Glucagon is produced in response to a fall in the concentration of glucose in the blood. Insulin is produced in response to a rise in the concentration of glucose in the blood. In what way do glucagon and insulin adjust the glucose concentration in the blood? Glucagon stimulates the liver to release glucose. Insulin stimulates the liver to convert glucose to glycogen. Name the hormones produced by the ovaries. The ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. Name the hormones produced by the testes. The testes produce testosterone. Name the condition of the failure of the pancreas to produce sufficient insulin. Diabetes, insulin-dependent diabetes, is the condition which results from insufficient insulin. Describe the effects of the failure of the pancreas to produce sufficient insulin. The diabetic is unable to control effectively the glucose concentration of the blood. The glucose concentration therefore fluctuates from dangerously high to dangerously low. How is diabetes treated? Insulin-dependent diabetes is treated by regular injections of insulin, plus some dietary control. The pituitary gland produces hormones, including ADH, FSH, LH, and TSH. Give the full name of each of these hormones and say briefly what each one does. ADH, antidiuretic hormone, causes the kidney to reabsorb more water from the renal tubules, so reducing the production of urine. FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, acts on the ovaries and promotes the maturation of the follicles. LH, luteinizing hormone, acts on the follicles to cause ovulation. TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroxine. Hello friends, thank you very much for attending to Biology Lights. I encourage you to subscribe.